Hey everybody, Brian here. I want to show you this car here. This is a 2020 CRV. This is a really nice one. It's only after arriving in, so bear with me. It's not fully cleaned up yet or anything like that. But I'm going to show you around this car anyway because it's really nice. It's got about just under 40,000 kilometers, 39,500 kilometers. It's an executive all-wheel drive hybrid, pretty rare car. So we've had some CRV hybrids through, but this is the highest spec that they come in. So this car at the time of the video is a 68,000 euro car, brand new. Anyway, in this video we're going to look around at the features on the outside and the inside of the car and we'll go for a drive. Anyway, as usual, I have to hide in this area here where there's less wind noise. For some reason, my phone is just a magnet for wind noise. I think it's a really good looking car. The reason I have the indicators flashing is I just want to show you over here. LED indicators on the front, LED headlights, LED dip lights, LED front fog lights. Around to the rear, there is also LED lighting along through here, so two dual strips. There's also LED indicators. So LED lighting absolutely everywhere in the car, and it actually even has LED cornering lights in through there as well. Right, a couple of things just to mention. There is nice brushed aluminium along the bottom. There's a big fat chrome grille along the front. See the way the grille even comes down and kind of integrates into the headlight. That's pretty nice. Keeping on the same theme, I have chrome down here, which matches the chrome that was on the front, which matches the chrome up around here. Brushed aluminium was there. Brushed aluminium is here. Brushed aluminium on these side steps. They're not standard. They were put onto the car and they really finish it really nicely. I think all SUVs should have side steps, but that's just me. More chrome around there, which also matches the chrome that's up here. And remember, we saw the brushed aluminium on the front bumper. Well, the rear bumper is the exact same as well. Because this is the all-wheel drive version, you get an all-wheel drive badge, and then it's a hybrid, so you get hybrid badging on the boot and hybrid badging on the wing as well. The colour of this car then is what's called a passion red pearl. So I think it's a really nice, rich, expensive looking colour. The condition's really nice on the car. Previous owners have done a really nice job looking after it. Previous owners, actually, we know them really well. They've bought a lot of cars off us. So the cars come from a good home, in my opinion. A couple of things. You have a keyless entry function, so you can use that to get into the car. Obviously, you can lock and unlock. From the boot or from the key, you've also got a power tailgate. Power tailgate can be adjusted as well, so you can have it stop at various heights, whatever you want. And then from the key or the button, you can close that back down as well. Actually, while we're there, let's have a look at the boot size. So the previous owner, they actually had a mat inside. What I mean by that is there's normal boot of the car, and then there's a mimicking mat. So it's not like a rubber boot liner, it's just like another mat that sits on top of the other one. Anyway, what I'm saying to you there is that was for protection, and even at that, it's still in nice condition. But if you lift it up, the boot's absolutely perfect underneath. There is symmetrical lighting, very rare in boots. So I've got a light on this side and I've got a light on that side. There's a speaker in through there. And then the tonneau cover, obviously you can pull that out if you want. And we can drop the seats down on both sides. So that drops and that drops also. And if you take out the cover then you'll have an absolutely gigantic load area. So a nice bit of flexibility in that boot. The engine on this car then is a 2-litre Atkinson cycle engine, so that produces around 184 horsepower. These are really fuel efficient. That car actually, when it came in first, I used it for about 600 or 700 kilometers, and it averaged around 5.5 litres per 100 kilometers off a trip from here up to near Donegal and back down as well into Manor Hamilton. And I was really surprised, 5.5 litres, and considering that's the 4-wheel drive version as well. So it actually gives the older diesel, a run for its money. Now, when you drive it right, a lot of those roads are 100 kilometers an hour, but I did some motorway driving as well. Like we're saying at the start of the video, these are a pretty rare model. And what's nice actually, when the boot closes down, and then electronically pulls itself tight afterwards. Those wheels, so they're a nice diamond cut finish, right? Nice shiny reflective finish. They're an 18-inch wheel. I think they fill up the arches pretty good. The reason I'm saying that to you is the model that came after, there was a 21 version where the wheels marginally changed. And we got negative reaction on them actually. A lot of people didn't like the new wheel, and we had some people that came in to trade in these and they said, can I have the wheels of my previous car to put on the new one? So what I'm saying to you is these ones here seem to be the preferred wheel compared to the 2021-22 models. Anyway, in terms of the inside of the car, the doors open at a ridiculously wide angle, and they always have, even on the previous models. This one's got a lovely beige interior, so piano black, wood veneer kind of finish along through here. There is then a speaker, a tweeter, nice brushed aluminium in there. The condition's really nice. It is an EX executive, so it gets a full panoramic roof which opens, that you'll see in a sec, and there's lovely contours and finishes on the leather, so it's really classy and upmarket looking in my opinion. There's an armrest in through here. There is ventilation. There is 2 USB connectors in there. If you want to know how much space, if I sit behind myself, there's a good bit of space. This is bigger, so you can't compare this to something like a Sportage or a Tucson or whatever. It's not the same car, it's a bigger car. So the headroom is decent, and then the legroom is quite good as well. I'd be very, very comfortable on a car like this, traveling a long journey, sitting in the back. And I've got privacy glass over here. I've got a little coat hanger over here. And even if I'm sitting in the back, then I've nice visibility, but I think it really helps when you got a class roof like that. In the front of the car, so keyless entry, like what we said, right? So if that's locked, if I walk up to the car, I can open it by putting my hand in. Now, try it again. Open it, put my hand in. Totally wrong sequence. Let's try that once more. Lock, just touch the little grooves. Lock again, keep your finger on it. And that will then fold in the wing mirrors when you do it correctly. And then to open the car, hand in, it unlocks, and just open it out like so. All the functionality, one really cool thing from the key, see the way that says driver 1. So this seat I have set as driver 1. I can also set the other key for driver 2, so that means the seat moves depending on which key gets into the car, which is really clever. That's because Executive has electric driver seat with electric lumbar support, and you can raise and lower the height of the lumbar. While we're at it, let's worry about the passenger, because the passenger doesn't get electric but does get height adjustable. Try that again, because only the driver's door had opened. It does get height adjustable with lumbar support, passenger seat again, and it's a really nice upmarket looking seat. Excellent peripheral support on either side, and then nice finish in terms of the material leather that's in the car. Similar kind of materials that we saw on the rear doors, again, veneer, brushed aluminium, piano black in there. Please bear with me on this. This car is not fully cleaned up yet. Start stop button is in through there. 6,000,000 buttons over here. So what have we got? We got open the boot. This is to defrost the wipers in the winter. This is parking sensors front and rear. A lane departure warning. There is also a crash mitigation, so under 30 kilometers an hour, if you don't hit the brakes, the car is going to try and stop you if you're about to impact an object. There is a heads-up display. There is a little noise if you want the car to make a little creeping tone when it's creeping in full EV. Up through here then, I will have a heads-up display, so if I hold that button down there, a heads-up display will pop in through there, and then that will tell me visually what's happening. But I can also modify that, so I can change the height that it runs at, that's fine. But what's really cool on it then, if I use this here, I can change the information, so I can navigation information, power information, lots of different pieces of information in through there that might be useful. Okay, so over here, these are controls for a heated steering wheel, which is unique to this model. This car will have heated seats on the front, on each side, and it also has heated seats with 2 stages on the rear as well. Cruise control with lane keep assist. Over here then, IMID, average speed, fuel efficiency, all that kind of stuff. But on this one, because it's 4-wheel drive hybrid, there's a few more things that are a little bit more unusual compared to most Hondas. So fuel maintenance, this one here is going to tell you where the power is coming from, engine or battery. That's only really for interest more than it being actually necessary. And this one here then, which I think is quite cool because it's all-wheel drive, it'll tell you exactly where the power is coming from when you, well, not when you floor the car, just when you're driving the car. Using the 4-wheel drive system, wipers will be automated, lights will be automated, and then because it is a executive, you get this roof, which can be fully folded over, so it doesn't appear like a roof, or you can let it all the way back, so you can still have a big glass roof like the older ones, but these ones also open, which is kind of cool, which is absolutely useless in this country because it just rains so much, but for the odd day you do get a nice weather, it's lovely. This is electrochromatic mirror, so it darkens itself at night time. Just SOS button up through there, which, you know, warns emergency services if you'd had a major accident. LED lighting in through here. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. So reverse has a camera in through here, which you know, you can have a big camera or you can have parking sensors. It's also got, it looks to the side, so you see the way it's picking up the cars that are even outside the visual field. So that's cross monitor, which is only on these high spec executives, and also gets a blind spot indicator on the wing mirrors as well when somebody is driving in your blind spot. There is an armrest that's movable, there is some storage, there is 12 volt, there's HDMI, and there's 2 USB connectors in through there. So that's 4 USB connectors, another 12 volt. You can decide if you want to go through sport, if you want to go into a full economy mode. or if you want to go into an EV mode, permitting depending on the battery level. The battery level is over here. It'll continuously move from about 1/4 up to 3/4 and continuously self-charge itself. So it's there for interest rather it being, it's not necessary that you need to watch what it's doing or anything like that. The climate control functions on these used to be on the older models, more on the Civics and stuff, you had to press climate and go in and use the climate control up through there, which you still can with touch and swipe, but I like on these, you have quick access, so you got these hard buttons here, front and rear windscreen demister, and then after that, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can use Google Maps and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. But it's also got onboard Garmin navigation as well. Anyway, what we'll do is, let's go for a quick drive in the car. So, how do these cars feel in terms of driving? Now, before we do that, actually, one thing I want to show you, which I thought was really cool on these cars. Why can't I use the safety belt properly? Okay, so you put on your safety belt, right? And watch it then as I click it into place. Tightens in. I think that's really nice. I always used to find that a more expensive car, so you basically put on safety belt and just tightens. It's really nice, like a pre-tensioner or whatever it is. They drive really nice, but they're high off the ground, great visibility, big mirrors, big windows, so it's easy to see what's going on all the way around. Because it's petrol hybrid then, you can actually have regenerative braking. So you see the little paddles on the left and the right. So if I dab this pedal, or paddle even on the left, it increases resistance and that harvests energy from the turning wheels and puts it back up into the battery. So that's useful when you're trying to save fuel. Okay, in terms of how it accelerates, when you accelerate lightly, it's nice and quiet and smooth. But one thing I found on the two-wheel drive, sometimes you might pull out of a junction and you get a little bit of wheel slippage at the start before it gets going. The four-wheel drive, if I put my foot down, the launch on the car, it's so immediate. Because you have that four-wheel drive, there's excellent grip. The cabin's really nice. When you're looking around it, it's just nice and expensive, and the car sits lovely on a back road as well. Like, it's a really sure-footed vehicle when you're driving along. So, like I was saying to you, I love this part. Just put my foot down and getting going, because the four-wheel drive ones are pretty rare. And the car is always toggling between electric and hybrid modes. You don't need to know. It can show you what it's doing, but you don't need to know. You let the car do everything for you. Anyway, so there you have it. That is our 2020 Honda CRV all-wheel drive executive. If there's any information you want on that car, Brian is my name, Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare, 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. I'll run through information on the car. Hopefully the vehicle's of interest. Thanks a million for watching.